Welcome back to Stick to Fitness, brought to you by myself and my co-host Archie. And for today's topic of discussion, we're going to be talking about whether or not bodybuilding is luck. So don't let Jordan Peters hear us say this.
Well, I'll tell you how I was thinking of this question when we were last weekend spectating at the UK DFBA show.
There we go.
And, you know, there was a lot of people there who obviously giving 100%, not the competitors, people spectating. There's a lot of people giving their all to bodybuilding. Yeah. You know, see people there spectating. I've never spectated a show before.
No?
No.
Really?
First time spectating.
Okay.
And, you know, seeing the amount of people there that were committed to bodybuilding, like literally all into the bodybuilding.
That's us as well, no?
Oh, we'll get to that in a minute. But as in, you know, they got their Tupperware, they're ready to go, they're wearing all the gear.
He's like geezer with the microwave. Come on, we've got to shout out guy with the microwave.
Yeah, shout out to the guy who brought their microwave to the backstage, to the pump-up room. That's
dedicated, bro.
They're committed to bodybuilding, but in a sense of how much luck, because, you know, you can give 100% to something and still come up short with that based on genetics, or you might think you're doing 100% and you're really not. You know, me and you rocked up with nothing. And then we set off to
I had a yogurt.
We set off to go to McDonald's and then switch to Pepe's for more protein.
We're not about it.
We're not serious. But in the sense of, you know, there are people that are giving their all to something. But where does the luck element come in? Genetics, the environment that you're in when you started, like, where does the luck kind of come into it? And how big of a portion of being successful in bodybuilding is luck?
Yeah, I think, when it comes to luck, it's not. I think people don't want to admit that there is a degree of it, right? Because it takes away from your hard work, right? So if you said, oh, you know, it's luck, it makes it seem like it's completely out of our control, which I think to a degree, certain parts of, and there's definitely elements which isn't down to luck, and it is down to what we can put in the effort levels, right? But there is still a lot of variables that we cannot control.
So when I was thinking it, because I was thinking of it from, like I said, looking at people, there are some people that will just never be able to achieve what it is that they're trying to achieve, and I include myself with that.
Yeah.
But then where do you draw the line then, in the sense of saying, well, I'm doing this more so because I enjoy doing it rather than trying to be the best, if you like? Because if you're not genetically predisposed to having that build or that makeup or the ability to get lean or the ability to build muscle, you know, we said this before on the last podcast about like someone like you, for example, and I saw that you posted your 6 plate plus 10 kilos on the handlebars on the Cybex hack.
Oh, yeah.
But you don't regularly do that. You don't regularly Cybex hack.
No. So
there are people that will Cybex hack for years that will never be able to achieve like what you can do on it, for example. But is that luck because of the way that you're built, genetics, or?
It's definitely luck to a degree, right? Because like just to give context, I used to do powerlifting, right? And I had been training for a while, but the first time I pulled like heavy, I pulled 212 kilos.
But first time ever deadlifting?
Properly, yeah.
Sumo?
Nah, conventional. Rounded back as well.
So it's legit.
Rounded back.
Yeah?
Rounded back, like, I'm saying, like, the head is almost touching, like, the crotch.
You're coming like the scared cat.
Mate, like a dog shitting on the front lawn, bro. But yeah, that's what, so I guess a degree, like, when we say luck, a degree is, like, genetics is going to be luck, right? To a degree.
Do you think there's any other factors that kind of come in? I think environment's quite a big one as well.
Definitely, like,
kind of where your makeup,
bodybuilding is it's an expensive sport.
Definitely.
Like, so let's say if you didn't have the money, there could be some geezer out there that is actually a fucking sick bodybuilder, but he don't have the money. Like, there's like, who is it?
Be able to tap into it.
Them guys that you see those videos of them guys in Rwanda and stuff. They're lifting like what them wooden wheels and stuff. They're jacked.
Yeah, jacked.
There's guys there like doing them videos. I don't know how true it is to a degree, right? But are they like? They could be let's say if
it's
it
about
is
that
legit,
untapped potential, isn't it?
exactly,
Because there could be someone out there with unreal genetics who's just never been exposed to lifting the weight. I think a good example of that is someone like Phil Heath, where it's like he only started lifting weights because he wasn't going to make it as a basketball player. So if he was going to be a basketball player, he would never have fulfilled that potential being Mr. Olympia 7 times or whatever it is.
So because he didn't make it, that was unlucky, but then it was luck.
Yeah, that he found it.
Yeah.
But I think luck from a point of view where it's like I said, always come back to if you're giving something 100%, but you're never going to achieve what it is that you desire. And like I said, I'm including myself in that because for whatever reason, you're just never going to be able to.
But then is that, what about...
Like, can you beat luck? So if you don't have the luck of the draw when it comes to the ability to participate in something, are you able to navigate around that and still be successful? I think in some cases, yes, you can. But in bodybuilding specifically, is that something that can actually happen?
Can you beat luck?
Can you beat luck? If you're not blessed with the best genetics...
What? I think, that's a difficult conversation to have, right? I think it comes...
I think we need someone on here to support with this argument.
Yeah, because if you think of, let's say all genetics, all of that stuff was like equal, right? So we're looking at top end, like Olympia, that everyone's pretty much like of that same caliber of athlete, right? In terms of like genetic capability, there's still going to be differences, but let's talk about the top 3, for example, right? What is it luck that separates these 3 people?
Well, I don't know. I think in bodybuilding it's subjective anyway. So if you're talking about the creme de la creme, is it not luck that the judges just happen to prefer? Because there is a criteria, obviously, but that can still be, that's open to like what people prefer, isn't it? So is it just luck? Because what one person likes, the other may not, and then you've got to score points with that. So,
but then can you? The argument is going to be if you put in the effort to, let's say...
They all put in effort. You can't tell me the top 3 in the world are not putting in.
But like more effort. Let's say you do all the crazy science stuff. You do the, in the, what's it called? What's that film? The bodybuilding film.
What, Generation 9?
That's it, yeah. Where Ben Bukowski's going to these labs and he's doing all this stuff, right? So let's say if you're that person, I need to bring up my back, for example, right? Or your arms or your biceps. They're doing all this like specific stuff, all the science-based stuff, all the research, all the most optimal, sciencey, boffin stuff that you can do to grow your arms. Take all the best gear, highest quality. Would that change that?
Well, I don't know, because has Ben, what's his name, Ben
Bukowski.
Has he ever won an Olympia?
I don't think he has.
Is Big Ramy doing that? Phil Heath doing that?
But
was Jay Cutler doing that?
But then that's probably might be what he needs. So then it's kind of controllable, perhaps, if he went. And
But for him, he just doesn't have what you need to be the best in the world. Well, no, not what it takes, because he does, obviously, because he's got to a certain level and he's shown that he can do it. But that final percent to get to the next stage, with all the science and stuff in the world, you're just never going to get there.
Yeah, I mean, the genetics plays a huge role.
Yeah, of course, genetics is massive, but
like where your muscle bellies insert, how that
and
looks,
how tall you are,
how much muscle that you can physically.
And that's the same.
On your frame, right?
Do you think it's kind of similar with strength as well? Because some people are just genetically better off. They're just stronger.
But then, do you feel like it's?
I don't want to put limitations on people.
I think it's.
But there is a point though, isn't it, where it's like for example, you're naturally just stronger than probably 99% of the population. Just from the get-go. There's people that will train for years that won't pull more than 200 kilos off the floor, and you did it on your first go.
At 60 kilos.
At 60 kilos. Yeah,
60 kilos, so crazy that.
But there are people that will not be able to do that. So, what do you think? Is it better to set those expectations where it's like, I want to be the best, this, that, the other, or is it about setting expectations that are realistic? And if it is about realistic, then where do you draw the line?
Potentially there's levels to the game, right, in terms of luck. Because let's say if we're looking at that initial, like, we're talking about the big outliers, right? So people who are like really like genetically inept versus those who are like high level, like really above. Obviously, yeah, there's going to be a big disparity. But when it's a little bit closer, let's say if the genetic elements are, less of a thing, and when you're dealing with, I guess, people in that middle zone. So we're not talking about those really low, like in terms of really poor genetics versus the best or the top 3. We're talking about that kind of that middle range where the amateurs kind of sit, right? I think that comes, you can kind of beat that, like in terms of like the amount of effort that you put in.
Yeah, definitely.
Can change that. And because like, let's say, that quote of, was it that Phil Heath always says like, talent, hard work beats talent, right? When talent doesn't show up. So if you are really, really talented and you are genetically blessed, but then you don't put in that effort, now the argument is going to be, does that other person, can they beat you?
But do you think that people that are trying to be or win a show or be as strong as they possibly can, I would say that most of them would be putting in that effort though?
You would think. But let's say, I don't know where you would see me in terms of genetics, right? I would say I'm probably above average, right?
Yeah, because you've won a lot of things in terms of powerlifting, you won bodybuilding shows and things like that. So you would have to be.
I've never come second in powerlifting. I've won every show I've done.
Yeah,
that's nuts, isn't it?
Yeah, so you've never experienced that. So of course you'll be up there with
right. But I've been beaten, like in terms of bodybuilding.
Yeah, but I think with the difference, and this is where it comes down to what's, is it strong? Was it better to be stronger or to win a powerlifting competition or win a bodybuilding show? Because if you win a bodybuilding show, people can still argue against you and say, oh, well, I prefer this one or blah, blah, blah. Whereas if it comes to powerlifting, it's like on this day.
No, I got beat pretty clear, man.
No, yeah, of course, but you can always make an argument, I guess.
Yeah.
Whereas with powerlifting, it's like on this day, this person who won lifted the most amount of weight.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's black and white.
I guess, yeah, but there are some other things, like remember, like to lift the most amount, like it still has to be your day. Like you still have to have
of
good
course,
handoff. You still
things still have to fall into place.
Yeah,
definitely things still have to fall into place.
But it's still subjective in people like how they call depth as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's not like
I can't believe they haven't got anything in place for that. Like,
VAR.
Yeah.
Powerlifting where it's
but like there's like a laser where it's like you got to hit that laser to come back up or do whatever. Or
they should, but then because there's so many spotters there, it's hard. Like because the laser is like straight, right? It'll be really hard to tap something like.
I agree.
If somebody's in there,
doing,
I
agree. But they could. I don't know. Could you put it around the pivot of the knee joint or something? I don't know. There's definitely a way out there for something like that, I think.
Or you have a kind of...
How cool would that be to see the powerlifting official go, we're going to VAR?
Yeah.
That would be decent. Yeah. That would be decent.
Or like there's a noise, after you... But then you wouldn't even need to fucking judge.
But I don't think you do. Maybe just to make sure that everything's...
I mean, not that these judges are getting paid to do it anyway.
Yeah. But is that... So again, depth perception, is that luck? I don't know. I think.
Obviously, it's not completely luck because you still need to hit a degree of depth.
It's the same with the pause on the bench press, though.
Yeah.
So
I've definitely been given some squats which have been like.
Well, you heard it here first, guys.
Yeah, I'm first one.
You heard it here first.
I'm the first one to say like
cheater.
Hey, it's not. I'm not cheating. It ain't my fault. Do you know what I mean?
You natty still as well, or
100% natty, bro. That's it. Lifetime natty.
Lifetime
natty.
Yeah,
there we go. Not just 10 years.
Yeah. Oh, well, that's for another. That's
another podcast.
That's another one. I just think it was interesting on Sunday, and I'm guilty of this as well because obviously I've been like trying my best.
Yeah.
For 10 years now, trying my best to be in the best shape possible. But as I'm getting older and getting to the point where it's like, you have to come to a realization where it's just like I'm just never gonna be able to compete with these guys.
But then what? How do you stay motivated to continue to do that?
Because you want to be the best of yourself, I guess.
Yeah, but it's
still a thing of where it's like, okay, I might not be able to be British champion or potentially win a show or whatever.
Do you just manage your expectations more then?
Yeah, I think definitely, because it's more about like, okay, well, can you be as big and strong as possible, and where do you rank in terms of like where you're lifting, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean,
because I'd always want to be like, especially now I've got a baby on the way. It's like I wouldn't want any dad to be stronger than me. So me and you, we're gonna have to go to war.
But yeah, so it's easy for me. Like even when I was coaching you, right? Like, you know, motivating you, and I think even with like clients, you can motivate them to be like. I think it's easy for me to say when I'm kind of like up here already.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I've got a decent physique, my strength levels are like high, right? Like to then go, oh no, you have to like trust the process. You have to really enjoy it. You have to like. There can only be one. It's easy to me to say all these kind of things, but then I don't know if it was flipped in my scenario, and if I was in that position, would I still be motivated to continue to do it if I wasn't to that, like if I wasn't in it? Do you know what I mean? Like, let's say if powerlifting, would I have done so much? Would I have been able to compete so much? Would I have been, you know, flying across different countries to compete in worlds? Would I have done it for that long, continue to lift? Maybe even would I still continue to be a personal trainer if I wasn't like to that level? Maybe I wouldn't even have the success that I have, because a lot of people tune in to watch freaks, right? So
like, definitely.
When you're posting up 6.5 plate hack squats, you know, people are gonna watch that. People are gonna be like, okay, he's strong. I'm gonna listen to his advice. But then, what are you listening to? You listen to my luck.
Yeah, well, but this is what it comes down to, isn't it? Yeah. People want to know how you got that strong, but the real reason how you got that strong is you were just.
Yeah. It's luck.
It's luck.
That's why
it's luck of the draw. You were predisposed to being able to do that movement well. Yeah.
But I think
because there will be movements that you can't do as well. But is
none, man.
But is that still better than 99% of the population? Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. But for you, it's not well. So, like in terms of the bodybuilding thing, you know, I guess if you want to compete, then of course, like I've done it several times, compete. But I think managing those expectations, because you're going to come against people that are just
eat McDonald's and
but there'll be some people that no matter what you do, you're not going to beat them.
Yeah. I think we spoke about that in one of the previous podcasts, right? Where you can, like, you could eat cardboard and nails, right? And then there'll be one guy that just like doesn't even fucking diet or didn't diet.
Or done a 10-week diet, quick little bit of cardio here, there, and they just look fantastic.
Nails.
And fair play to them. Like, go for it. And
then I think, you know, obviously like the genetic side of shape, symmetry, you know, because it's not just about condition, right?
No, of course.
Like, I think if you look at all the things that the criteria of bodybuilding, there's only one thing that you can really control,
which is
condition.
For sure.
Everything else is luck. Right? Because how much muscle you have, but that is predisposed.
But could you say that there's an ability for some people to get leaner than others? So again, some people, like for some people, they would have. I think they would have killed themselves, been in the trenches, as so to speak, like trying to get as lean as possible. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But like, so now again, I don't want it to come across like we're talking about other people. I always use myself as an example. I tried really hard to get as lean as possible. I tried so hard.
Yeah.
But could I have tried harder? I don't know if I could have. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah. But maybe it's like
the time frame could have been.
So if you think, let's say when we say try harder, I think it then comes down to the balance of, okay, maybe not necessarily you need to try harder in that moment. I think that's the hardest you could give in that moment. But maybe leading up to it is that period. So dieting earlier, like in terms of like not letting your body weight creep up so much. Maybe doing like pre-prep phases where you're dropping a bit of calories, there, dropping some body weight. So getting yourself a little bit leaner so then it tees up that moment. So you kind of have to work harder, but for like a longer period of time, like spread out, so that it's more, so that hardness can be managed.
Yeah.
Right.
But then it just becomes more unsustainable for the longer period of time.
Yeah.
54 weeks was enough for me.
Yeah. But then if you drip into it, so, okay, let me do like 20 weeks here.
Then have
like let's say, you know, you did 54 weeks, but like 25 of those weeks was like, it was very manageable. You know?
Yeah, I don't think it wasn't unmanageable.
It was like getting rid of fat that probably shouldn't have been there in the first place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but we don't talk about that because it upsets me. But I mean, yeah. But I just trying to, you try your best.
Of course. Yeah.
And sometimes it's just not with anything, not just bodybuilding. You try your best, and it's still just not good enough, is it?
Yeah. But then
no one goes out there not trying their best. I don't know. I don't know about that one. I might retract that statement, but
I think that's true. Like I don't necessarily think people go out there to not try their best. It's just that things get in the way. So like I'm probably an example of that where I don't go out there to not try my best. It's just the mindset of that is that luck.
Yeah,
the mindset.
Yeah,
to be able to get in. Tap into.
Yeah, I'd really like to have this conversation with a top athlete.
But I don't think a top athlete is ever going to say that it's luck.
But I think they have to have an understanding that there's an element.
Yeah, but they'll like look at Phil Heath, right? Actually, no, I don't know. Phil Heath, because he says quite a lot. Like if you listen to any of his pod, he did say a lot of like what do you say? Like what hard work's not going to beat talent if talent works hard as well.
But but like I said, for him, if he would have went to the NBA, he would never have been there.
But that's his genetics for that, right?
Yeah, but apparently he was still a really good basketball player. But he just wasn't.
He's not tall enough.
He's not good enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I'd like to have that. Maybe it's something we can revisit with
Phil Heath.
Or with anyone out there who's a top level athlete who would like to come and challenge on this topic of discussion. Then feel free.
I think it's a very tricky one. Obviously, genetics is a big. I think even like we're talking about injuries.
Yep.
Like whether or not somebody sustains injuries or not. Obviously, there's a degree of how you're doing exercises and whatnot, but that can be predisposed as well, right? Like there's always footballers, for example, that I don't know, but they always seem to get injured. Is that luck? Is that I don't know, Jibril Cisse, for example, he broke his leg twice, like horrific. Like that's luck, man.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But could his career have been way better?
Well, it could have.
Yeah,
but on that day he got tackled
twice,
badly.
like 2 days,
badly.
I was a Chinese guy as well.
Really? Bloody Chinese.
That's what I mean.
Ruined his career.
Should clip that. Just that bit. But yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that's entirely luck, right? In terms of like, well, that's really bad.
Yeah, wait, but look, if you're talking about that, think of how many people end up. You always hear about, I could have been this, but I got injured when I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
That's unlucky. Nothing you can do about it. It's luck, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's so hard though. Like if you're in that position, to then I say carry on, but to still like I have to give a lot of credit to people who don't necessarily like they're just doing it like this is them doing it purely for the love of it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. There's something to be said for that, and I would put myself in that category as well because I do love it.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes someone asks me. Someone asked me like a couple of weeks ago, and we was having this conversation. It's like when you have them days where you just don't feel like you can do it. Do you ever regret starting? Because you're talking about like for a prolonged period of time, like 10 plus years of doing something. It's like, could you have put that time and effort into something else that maybe you would have got more out of? Yeah,
because obviously competing and feeling like you're amongst the top, right, or at least competitive, that adds to that desire, that want, and that. The craving for it, right? Because it's like an addiction, right? If it gives you that hit of dopamine when you do well, you're successful, you get something out of it, it's more the worthwhile to do it, right? But then when you're not getting that extra external validation, I feel like that would be really hard to then carry on, because you could do it so many times, but then if there is genuinely one time where, okay, I've been doing it for like, let's say 20 years, and this prep, I just felt like I gave everything that I possibly could, and there was nothing else. Like, where do you go from there? How does that then carry? Like, where do you find the motivation to do that?
I think then that's where I think you have to kind of I like to separate the two. So you got training, and then you got bodybuilding.
Okay.
I don't train to compete. I train because I love training, but I compete because it's something to do.
Yeah, alongside it, right?
Yeah, so it's just just kind of like a natural pathway into that.
Do you feel
And that's
like,
where my training can go one way or the other. It's like, well, I don't actually want to do hypertrophy training or whatever. I want to train strength.
just train the exercise.
Just want to train, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Just you fucking deadlift.
I'm just going to do arms every day.
Like, 8-hour arm workout.
Yeah, but that's what that's where that enjoyment comes from. But then you get to the point where it's like, well, I want to train for something now. So what are you going to do? You could do a powerlifting comp or a bodybuilding show, isn't it? So
yeah. High rocks, you can do high rocks.
Oh God, no.
No?
I couldn't think of anything worse than doing that.
Oh, really?
No, that's not for me.
I don't think I could do it. I'd like to try, but I don't know if I could.
Or like a marathon or something. You do a marathon?
Nah, never. I would not do a marathon. I just...
Big respect to anyone that's ever run a marathon.
You know when people say lifting is boring? I just like, marathon for me is just like... Bleh.
Yeah, training for a marathon would be tough as well because I get on the day, like I know people that have done the marathon and done no training, but that buzz of everyone around you, like for 26 miles, gets you through it.
Is it though?
What?
Oh, what? As in other people watching you?
Yeah. So you got thousands of people watching you and they're cheering you on, this, that, the other. Like that would be, you know,
Are they cheering?
no one kept.
But there must be periods where no one's fucking cheering you.
Nah, have you ever been to the marathon?
No,
London Marathon is yeah, okay, but maybe at the start and stuff. When you get like down to like Tower Bridge and all that, then when the people start coming in for the final 18 odd miles, like that would be a buzz. No matter, and no one's cheering you because like you could be last, you're still gonna get cheered.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Like,
have you done the marathon?
No.
How do you know all this? You've been cheering me on?
Oh, yeah, I've got lots of people, lots of friends that have done the marathon, so I'll always go down and watch it. Yeah, I went last year to go and watch it.
How do you watch it?
You
just stand there?
Just pick a spot and then you hope, like now you can do it on the app, so like you can register your friend, then it will track them where they are and you can see them. And you see them for like 2 seconds, you're like, yeah. And then
that's it.
That's it, yeah. Then you go try and find him at another spot.
Oh, wow. Do you drive around or you walk in?
You can't drive, the whole London's shut. You got to walk around.
Oh, shit.
So you end up walking like a lot.
Can you get like an electric skateboard?
Yeah, you could, yeah, but you're so busy you wouldn't be able to.
Oh, really?
So I think like from that point of view, doing something like that, because like I said, I've known people that have not trained for it.
But then did they do well?
No, but again, it's like, well, anything that's time based.
It's not,
like,
it's
I just
not
want
a
to get a good
competition
time.
though, is it? Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not a competition. But you're competing against yourself. And is that?
But that's the thing, right? Because I think because there's so many people on the marathon, I feel like you're
not trying to win it. You don't. No one goes into like the marathon trying to win it unless you're like the elites.
But then,
but you want to beat your time.
But when it comes to bodybuilding, like everyone always feels like they have a chance.
Do they though?
I think they do, genuinely. I think a lot of people just feel like, I'm gonna fucking.
I don't know.
Especially if you're not really.
I don't know. I think I would argue against that. I think there are people, yeah, because I think like again, I always come back to myself. The expectation, like for me, was never because you just like I said, you never know who's gonna turn up on the day.
That's luck.
It is because no one could turn up and then you win. But did you actually win?
You did actually win.
But yeah, but that's what I mean. So it's like you just want to do your best, and then whatever happens from there happens from there. I think going in with the expectation of that you're gonna, unless you're like obviously you already know what time it is, like sort of thing. I don't know. I don't know if people would turn up thinking that they're gonna win. Like you see more and more people now. So that show that we went to last weekend, 160 competitors. I don't believe all 160 thought that they were gonna win. I think there would have been a handful of people that would have thought they were going to win.
But at some point, did they feel like they could win?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Because like, until you get to that point, like, you know... Like,
no, I'm going to say no to that one. I don't think...
I
think there was definitely people there that thought they weren't going to win, yeah. That's why I guess that's when people start saying, well, our goal is to place or qualify. Like, I don't know. I don't know if people will actually sit down and say... like my goal is to win this show, and if you do, then obviously you there's some history behind that, or like you are a very good athlete. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think there were people there that?
I think everybody.
I think if you're especially where that show was a first timer show.
I think everybody goes into it thinking they could win at some point. May not necessarily be that show, but at some point in their career, they feel like they could do something.
Interesting.
That's what I think. Otherwise, I don't know if they would carry on and continue. I feel like there is a carrot that can be dangled there to like be like, I could potentially, or at least place, or
Yeah, but no. But we're talking about winning the show,
Yeah,
not because I said that. A lot of
Yeah.
people will say, and we've been guilty of that.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, the goal is to place and then go on and do whatever. But in terms of winning the show, that's a big statement.
As in first place, the class, not
Yeah,
necessarily
not the
show.
overall,
Yeah.
but the win your class. Like, unless you're,
But the thing is,
if you're an experience and you've competed before and you've won shows before, then maybe that will obviously change your expectation and stuff.
because what makes me think of it is there's always somebody that you're like, shit, this physique won the show, and then you're sizing them up thinking, I think I look better than that. You know what I mean? So then in your head you're thinking, I could win the show.
You're like, I'm going to go back and do that show next year because this guy won that show.
Meanwhile, it was COVID and no one competed that year.
Yeah, I think
Luck.
yeah, well, yeah, I don't know. I think you'd have to be very unlucky to have like loads of people turn up on your show that are like really good.
You have to. Do you think? I think the standard's getting very high now.
Oh yeah, he's definitely getting
And
like
it's
some of these young guys, man. Bloody hell, it's
Scary,
insane.
yeah.
I feel old,
Do you?
definitely
Fucking what the hell do I feel then?
older. Definitely like, but I think that's because again we've spoken about this before, but there's just more out there. So is that luck for them? There's more information out there. There's better coaches out there nowadays. So if you're a young up and comer, you're going to be subjected to better coaching. Like if I think about the first online coach that I had, oh my god, compared to like what I've had like from yourself or other people, it's embarrassing.
So are you saying that Arnold didn't get shredded because of luck?
That's
all I'm hearing.
There wasn't
That's
enough
all I'm
out there.
hearing.
There wasn't enough out there for him. But you could argue that.
Yeah, his drugs were not always good. He didn't
well,
have enough.
Yeah, but they weren't probably tested enough, were they? Or like whatever. So there's
Some people argue that the drugs were better then, though, because they're not like so tampered with, or like people not.
yeah, but if
making...
these guys are getting the best stuff of the best. They're not buying it off the guy behind the gym counter.
Yeah, but they didn't
it in
they
the
didn't
shed.
have the was it the anabolic chicken that was in?
Oh god,
You know, they're not taking different drugs out there, you know.
I don't know. I think luck in anything, in any walk of life, luck plays a big part for you being successful.
But to capitalize on
Yeah.
that luck, obviously is
That's where that part then comes into it.
yeah,
But there's so many things that have to fall in place.
yeah, for sure.
So I don't know.
It's very
Like I said, I would
it's
like
very
to.
interesting.
I'd like to continue this with someone that's been there, done it, got the t-shirt.
Okay, all right.
See what they think.
So, with that said, do you think bodybuilding is luck?
Yes. not the whole thing, because that's going to make me sound like someone. Like,
I'm just gonna clip that.
Makes it sound like. But there's like I said, with any aspect of life, there's elements of luck to that success.
Yeah.
But so what? You're telling me that there's no luck involved in bodybuilding?
I think there is.
Yeah.
I think there's more luck than not luck.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fucking hell, I'm waiting for the door to come down. Jordan's coming.
All the bodybuilders are going to be coming.
Jordan's coming. Oh, shit. But yeah, we hope you found this discussion insightful. If you enjoyed this episode, feel free to leave a review on iTunes and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you disagree, you can find me at Gym With Him on Instagram, and my co-host is at Archie13 with 2 E's. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you all in the next one. Peace.
We was at the UK DBFA show last
God,
week.
we need to say the federation properly, man.
What did I say?
You said DBFA.
What did I say? UK.
UK
Drug free.
DFBA.
Right, start again. What did I say?
You said UK
DB.
DFBA or something.
What is it? UK drug free.
DFBA.
UK DBFA.
DBFA.
Oh, I don't know.
Drug bodybuilding.
BMBF is such easier. Just say the BMBF show.
Let's just carry on.
Oh my god. No, start again.
Okay.
Well, hang on. I need to write that down.
UK DFBA.
You say.
I'll write it down here. You can
Right,
read
yeah,
it from here. Fuck's sake. You love these, man. Acronyms. You always fuck it up. UK. See it? You said DF.
Drug free.
No, it's UK DFBA. FBA.
What did I say? DB.
The UK DBFA or something like that.
Oh, they're not natty anyway, man.
All right. Okay.
Start again. Go on.